Antony Blinken. The nominee for Secretary of State said Wednesday President-elect Joe Biden will not reverse Donald Trump's landmark recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, but will seek a state for the Palestinians. The outgoing Trump in 2017 bucked international consensus and recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital, despite Palestinians' claims to the Holy City as part of their campaign for a separate state. Blinken indicated that President-elect Biden would try harder to pursue a separate Palestinian state, but acknowledged the difficulties. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani urged U.S. President-elect Joe Biden on Wednesday to return to a 2015 nuclear deal and lift crippling sanctions on the Islamic Republic. President-elect Biden, who takes office on Wednesday, has said the United States will rejoin the pact that includes restrictions on Iran's nuclear work if Tehran resumes strict compliance. President Rouhani said in a televised cabinet meeting the ball is in the U.S. court now. He added that if Washington returns to Iran's 2015 nuclear deal, Tehran will also fully respect the commitments under the pact. Democrat Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States on Wednesday, assuming the helm of a country beset by the political divide and battered by a raging coronavirus pandemic. President-elect Biden will become the oldest U.S. president in history at the age of 78 at a scaled-back ceremony in Washington that has been largely stripped of its usual pomp and circumstance, due both to the coronavirus as well as security concerns following the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. With only a small number of attendees present, the Democrat will take the oath of office before U.S. Chief Justice John Roberts just after noon. United States President Donald Trump has granted clemency to former White House aide Steve Bannon as part of a waiver of pardons and commutations issued in his final hours in office, but did not pardon himself, members of his family, or lawyer Rudy Giuliani. A senior administration official said as part of more than 140 pardons and commutations, the outgoing leader also pardoned Elliot Brody, a former top fundraiser for President Trump who pleaded guilty last year to violating foreign lobbying laws, a former Detroit mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, who was serving a 28-year prison term on corruption charges. Rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, who were prosecuted on federal weapons offenses, were also granted pardons. The United States said Wednesday that it has determined that the Chinese government's crackdown on its Muslim Uyghur minority amounts to genocide, in a move that will likely further strain bilateral ties just as Democrat Joe Biden is set to take office. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said since at least March of 2017, China has committed crimes against humanity against Uyghurs and other ethnic and religious minority groups in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region in the western part of the country. The Secretary of State said in a statement Beijing has taken such measures as the arbitrary imprisonment or other severe deprivation of physical liberty of more than 1 million civilians, forced sterilization, and other activities. Tunisian Prime Minister Hicham el-Mishrichi on Wednesday said he is aware of the anger and frustration felt by the people and that was caused by the economic crisis and the pandemic affecting the North African country. Premier el-Mishrichi affirmed that the right to protest and expression is guaranteed by the Constitution and that his role is to preserve this right. He pointed out that he listens to the demands of the protesters and tries to meet them, noting that the government enforces the law against those who commit looting and acts against properties. The man who told US President Donald Trump that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un wanted to denuclearize was named as South Korea's foreign minister Wednesday, hours before the inauguration of Joe Biden. Former National Security Advisor Chung Eui-yong will be responsible for Seoul's relations with treaty ally Washington after replacing UN veteran Kang Kyung-hwa, who was Seoul's first female foreign minister when she was appointed in mid-2017. Chung was instrumental in brokering the talks between the two leaders, which saw 3 headline-grabbing meetings between the two, but little substantive progress. The UK coronavirus strain has been detected in at least 60 countries, the World Health Organization said Wednesday, 10 more than a week ago, with the global death toll now well past 2 million and new variants of the virus causing deep concern. Countries across the world are grappling with how to slow infections until vaccines become widely available. The South African strain, which like the UK one is believed to be more infectious, has now been reported in 23 countries and territories, the WHO also announced in its weekly update. South Korea is in talks to purchase 40 million doses of a coronavirus vaccine developed by Novavax, its local manufacturer says. The deal, if agreed, will boost supply of COVID-19 vaccines in the country to 146 million doses, more than enough for its 52 million residents, and comes as Seoul prepares to start mass inoculations in February. SK Bioscience, which also manufactures AstraZeneca's vaccine, is working on a technology transfer deal with Novavax, which will allow it to produce and sell vaccines on its own. A deal with the South Korean government could be its first direct supply deal. State media reports that China has deployed 16 rescue teams and dozens of medical personnel to try to save 12 miners trapped underground for 10 days after an explosion in a gold mine in northern China's Shandong province. A total of 22 miners were left trapped after an explosion on January 10th at the Hushan gold mine on the outskirts of the city of Yantai on China's eastern coast. At least 12 were found to be still alive after a note was retrieved a week later, expressing hope that the rescue work would continue.